Good morning, students. I am Riya Sinha, your assistant teacher. Today we will discuss our leftover topics of our first chapter of history: what, where, how, and when. Today we have to start a new topic, that is names of the land. In this topic, we will talk about the name of our land, that is India, Bharat, or Hindustan. Two of the words we often use for our country are India and Bharat. The word India comes from the Indus, called Sindhu in Sanskrit. The Iranian and the Greeks who came through the northwest about 2500 years ago and were familiar with the Indus called it the Hindos or the Indos, and the land to the east of the river was called India. In the same way, the name Bharat was used for a group of people who lived in northwest and who are mentioned in the Rig Veda, the earliest composition in Sanskrit. It is clear from this topic that how our country got its name. Now, next topic is finding out about the past. There are several ways of finding out about the past. One is to search for and read books that were written long ago. These are called manuscript because they were written by hand. These were usually written on palm leaf or on specially prepared bark of a tree known as birch, which grows in the Himalayas. Over the years, many manuscripts were eaten away by insects. Some were destroyed, but many have survived, often preserved in temples and monasteries. These books dealt with all kinds of subjects, religious beliefs and practices, the lives of kings, medicine, and science. Besides, these were epics, poems, plays. Many of these were written in Sanskrit, others were in Prakrit and Tamil, which were used by ordinary people at that time. We can also study inscriptions. These are writings on relatively hard surfaces such as stone or metal. Sometimes kings got their orders inscribed so that people could see, read, and obey them. There are other kinds of inscription as well, where men and women, including kings and queens, recorded what they did. For example, kings often kept records of victories in battles. There were many other things that were made and used in the past. Those who study these objects are called archaeologists. Archaeologists study the remains of buildings made of stone and brick, paintings and sculpture. They also explore and excavate. Excavate means dig under the surface of the earth to find tools, weapons, pots, pans, ornaments and coins. Historians, that is scholars who study the past, often use the word source to refer to the information found from manuscript, inscriptions and archaeology. Once sources are found, learning about the past becomes an adventure as we reconstruct it bit by bit. So historians and archaeologists are like detectives. They use the process of decipherment to understand the content of inscription. Now come to our next topic, one past or many. In this topic, we will discuss different perspective of past. Suppose the lives of herders or farmers were different from those of kings and queens. The lives of merchants were different from those of craftspersons and so on. Also, as is true even today, people follow different practices and customs in different parts of the country. For example, today most of the people living in Andaman Island get their own food by fishing, hunting and collecting forest produce. By contrast, most people living in cities depend on others for supplies of food. Differences such as these existed in the past as well. Besides, there is another kind of difference. We know a great deal about kings and the battles they fought because they kept records of their victories. Generally, ordinary people such as hunters, fishing folk, gatherers, farmers, or herders did not keep records of what they did. While archaeology helps us to find out about their lives, there is much that remains unknown. What do dates mean now? If somebody asks you the date, you will probably mention the day, month, and year. 2020 and something. These years are counted from the date generally assigned to the birth of Jesus Christ, the founder of Christianity. So, if we say 2020, it means 2020 years after the birth of Christ. All dates before the birth of Christ are counted backward and usually have the letters BC, which means before Christ. BC, we have seen, stands for before Christ, and you will sometimes find AD before dates. This stands for two Latin words, Anno Domini, meaning in the year of the Lord. Lord, that is Christ. So 2005 can also be written as AD 2005. Sometimes CE is used instead of AD and BCE instead of BC. The letter CE stands for Common Era and BCE for Before Common Era. So now we have covered all the topics of this chapter. So I am giving you an assignment which you all have to submit positively by Tuesday, that is 21st of April. There is a homework for you all also, that you all have to write and learn all the important dates. Now in the next class we will do its exercise and question answers. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.